Dan McGrain, and I've got something to say about that. Hey, hi, this is Dan McGrain, and welcome back to another episode of I Got Something to Say About That. Today's episode, women's sports, male participation. It's beginning to be a problem. Why? I'm not really quite sure. It seems pretty common sense to me, but I'm going to try to break it down for you and see what you have to say about it. First of all, let's identify female and male. There's two ways to do it: biological and gender identification. The biological is the body, female, 2X chromosomes, ovaries, uterus, ability to bear children, all of the things that are necessary biologically speaking for a woman. The next part is the gender ID. We've already established the biological. Now it's the gender ID part of it. And the gender ID part of it is what that person inside that biological body, what they feel like they are. For instance, the obvious, it's a guy biologically, but a female from a gender identification thing. So what do they become? Is that a girl? Is that a guy? And therein lies the problem. But we're not talking about just that right today. We're talking about the participation of males in female sports. Now, somebody needs to explain to me how the biological person shouldn't be the choice for male or female sports. By that I mean, if you're a biological man, regardless of your gender ID, if you're a biological man, you could play men's sports, but you can't participate in the biologically correct female sports. You can participate in the biological male, male sports, but not the female. Now, is that discriminatory? No, it's not discriminatory. This is where we fall way, way down. And that is that I'm not discriminating against you because you're a biological male attempting to play a biological female's sport. It's not discrimination. You just don't happen to be biologically that way. So I'm not discriminating. You can go play that sport, whether it be swimming or basketball or football or whatever the case may be. But common sense tells you that if you're a biological male, you can't participate on an even basis with a biological female. It's not possible. There's a lot of different things, but muscle mass, there's male advantages, there's strength. There's a whole bunch of things that a biological male has an advantage over a biological female. Now, do all males have that? No. But this is participation in a physical activity on a female team or a male team. They have to be biological. Somebody needs to explain to me why that isn't right. How can that not be right? I just don't understand it. Common sense tells you this. I was at an unbelievable tournament, soccer. My granddaughter's a great goalie. She's 16 years old, participating in a national tournament down in Miami. This old guy comes up to me. Now, when I say old guy, I'm talking about a guy, my age. And we get chatting about stuff like this, and he brings up the subject of males playing in female sports and how unfair that is. And here was his analogy, and it was sort of funny. He goes, look, you're a guy, and you come to a female sport. If you're bringing two balls and a bat, you're not playing on a female team. And when you break that down, that's really what it is. The biological aspects of it means that you can't do it. And I don't understand, like, for instance, and here's the other thing. A lot of these, the NCAA and a lot of other organizations are buying into this and allowing biological males to participate in a female sport. The NCAA, we had that whole thing with the swimming event. A guy was gender ID'd and he feels that he's a female. Now, this is a guy that has participated in the NCAA as a guy. The best he ever did was 65th. He comes into this NCAA swimming event and identifies, not biologically, but gender identifies himself as a female and participates. Now, the person that he beat was a female Olympian. This girl worked her entire life to be good in swimming. And she was. She won everything. Except this thing because she participated against this guy. So now what happens to all females? Not all females, but most of the females. You're discouraging the females from participating in a sport because they don't want the guys there. They don't want to participate at a disadvantage. That's fair. I think that discriminatory practices come in when you allow somebody who's not biologically the same. You're discriminating against the female by allowing him to do that. But nobody ever talks about that. That's why I don't understand. That same NCAA situation, there was a female and a male. They tied, in the event. But they only had one trophy because they didn't think that there would be a tie. Guess who got that trophy in a female sport when there was a tie? The male. And do you want to know why? Because they didn't want to upset all of these people that think that it's discriminatory not to allow him to do that. You know what my opinion is, and I got something to say about that? Bullcrap. It's not right. It's not right on 1,000 different levels. It's not common sense right, and it's got to stop. And if it doesn't stop, there's going to be an uproar in female sports. These are females that are complaining about this, not the males, the females. It's women's swimming. It's women's lacrosse. It's women's basketball. It's everything that goes on. Biological, not gender ID. There's a bathroom. It says male or female. It doesn't mean whatever you identify as. It means you're a biological male or you're a biological female, not the gender ID. How do you go into a ladies' room or a men's room one day as a male and the other day as a female? You're just creating chaos. How many times do you have to put a male prisoner in a female prison as he rapes all of these people, impregnates them because he identified as a female and they allowed him to do it? How do you do that? I just don't understand it. It's just ridiculous. It's not even close, in my opinion. So, my subject today was males and female sports. That's what I've got to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Stay tuned and we'll be back next time on I Got Something to Say About That.